Alright, so we'll start under the hood. As you can see, there's not really any rust issues. You know, most of the rubber grommets and things are gone, but the metal appears to be solid. Go over the inner fenders. And this is the driver's side. And if you can see it right there, there is a, it looks like the metal's been broken, but that's something that could easily be welded back up without replacing that inner fender. Overall, it's in pretty good shape. Has the original manual steering box and still has the original brake setup on the 68. And this is the original 6-cylinder that came on the truck. Carburetor looks to be newer, if not new. It starts right up. I've started it in cold weather and warm weather, and as long as it's been started within the last couple of days, it usually starts right up. New starter. New electrical components. New wiring harness was installed, and I would call it a rough wiring in. The previous owner did. It still needs to be finished. No visible rust on this back part. And this is the passenger side inner fender. Again, looks to be solid. Front part of it. Inside of the passenger side fender. No visible rust. Back behind the engine. Driver's side. Dirty, but metal looks to be solid. This is between the grill and the radiator mount. Metal all looks to be good. On the front grill, there's a little bit of a bow right in here that you probably can't see, but that could be straightened out pretty easily. Nothing really bent, just, well, it's bent, but no creases. Now the front fender, there's a crack in the middle there, and appears pretty thin here. But again, you can see that it's not rusted through. It's been beaten up, but metal's still good. Here's the inside of the driver's side inner fender. Back behind the tire. Not really getting good light in there, but no visible rust. This is up at the top. Now the front rocker. It does need some new metal here. Looks like it was filled in at some point. Here's underneath on the driver's side. And you can see that this is a new floor pan that was installed. Here's the inner rocker metal that's visible. I don't think it was replaced, but it looks to be rust free. I think there needs to be some cleanup work on this metal floor pan that was installed, but it is new metal. You can see there where it needs to be put back together a little bit better, where the new metal meets the old. This is the passenger side inner rocker. And this is the bed metal. That looks to be where some oil got on it. I don't see any spots where it's rusted through. This is the back. This is the passenger side. There's the rear end, which I believe is a Ford 9-inch. Still has the original drum brakes. Frame looks good. Here's the inner rear fender on the driver's side. See, all the metal looks good. Surface rust, but I don't see any places where it's rusted all the way through. Or really even rusted to the point of being thin. This is back behind the back tire, and this is usually completely rusted out on those cars. Still in pretty good shape. Here's the inside rear inner fenders and the floor. It's actually an extra tailgate for the top. Not the actual tailgate, but the top door. The inside of the top, it looks to be in pretty good shape. Glass is good. Metal still is good on this. It'll need to be rebuilt, the internals, but it's in good shape. There's a dent on this rear piece. Here's the passenger side rear inner fender, and it's roughly in the same shape as the driver's side was. Those are drilled holes and not rust holes. You can see it's behind the tire. Again, this is usually completely rusted out. It's not on this particular truck. Passenger side, inside the cab, and there you can see there is some rust on this rear post right in there, some holes. Dash, the original 3 on the tree column and steering wheel. Electric windshield wiper, motor. See if I can get this open. Just a second. Okay. The new fuse box has been mounted inside the glove box. Glove box in good shape. Doors will need new cranks. That one has a handle. This one, that there is a handle. It's not installed. It's in decent shape. But the interior door metal's in good shape. This door does sag a little bit, like I said. I think it does need some metal work in here, and the rocker is, you can see some rust through spots on the outside of the rocker. And I think the body bushings are past shot on this thing, so it'll need new body bushings, obviously. Now here's the front passenger side inner fender. See all the metal you can see for the most part. It's in good shape. That's the holes where the emblem should go. Now the front part of this fender, you can see there, that is rusted through, but it's the outer fender. There's a better shot of it. So obviously, these fenders are so cheap, I would just replace that for sure. This is rusted through here, but that probably would be something easy to repair. Just in that one spot. Because that grill, for the most part, looks to be in decent shape, although there's some Bondo, so I don't know what's behind that. Can't really see it. I mean, all the rest of the metal looks good, so don't know. And it does have a fiberglass hood on it. New wheels, tires. There's the front suspension. Of course, everything looks original, so it obviously would need to be gone through if you were wanting to keep it. But overall, for a vehicle of this price, I have not seen anything with less rust on it than this particular vehicle, which is why I bought it. Needs some work, but you're not going to get one of these things for $7,000 that doesn't need work. In fact, this one was in better shape than a lot of them I looked at where people were wanting $10,000, $15,000.